And just like that, the next episode has begun. Welcome back to Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. I am your host, MegaShadowFist. I suck at video games, I suck at commentary, and when we last left off, we were about to, we were cross-examining, Bobby Fulbright, and we were about to detect some inconsistencies, well, not inconsistencies, but some weird tendencies that he has with Apollo Justice. So let's go and continue. The Earth emblem is only on the side that you can see when held in the right hand. Alright, here we go. If I were to make a guess... Yeah, it's gotta be his thumb, I think. Uh-huh, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna wait for him to repeat, and then we're going to perceive the thumb. When held in the right hand, this Earth emblem thing seems to be causing some weird suspicions, some weird tendencies, some battle tendencies! Oh! お前の好きなセリフはこうだ。なんだと？という。Anyway. Detective Fulbright. You might not be aware of it yourself, but whenever you say the phrase, the Earth emblem, your left thumb moves. That, honestly, if I had Apollo's ability, which I don't, just by being his cousin, because I don't have the Grimari gene, that would probably be, like Joseph Joestar's, you know, your next lioness thing, that would probably be my catchphrase. The Earth moves, the Earth emblem, your left thumb moves. You should get the Fire emblem instead. In fact, it appears as though you're running it along the edge of your holster. Oh. Mr. Lawyer, I don't have the foggiest notion what you're talking about. Be that as it may, I know it has something to do with the lighter. Let me examine it. But why? You're not making any sense. You can't just... Silence. Be still and do as you're told, Fulbright. If you have nothing to hide, you shouldn't mind them having a look-see, should you? What? Not you too, Prosecutor Blackwell! I'm not sure what this is all about, but if Prosecutor Blackwell insists, it must be something important. I'll allow the defense to examine the lighter. There's actually someone at my... Never mind. Good. Now maybe we'll learn something new. I hope so. Now let's check every inch of this... let's check every inch of this thing. Okay. Let's see what we got here. So, yeah, I can see why this would give the game an M rating actually. From what I've been told, and actually, I remember like investigating like long ago. I mentioned this early on in the series, I believe. Why this game got an M rating. I think this was like right around the time that I was doing Justice for All, and I remember it having something to do with Athena, like someone saying it had something to do with like Athena's past, and you guys did confirm that. Yes, it was her going crazy and trying to fix her mother. Okay, so let me check the whatchamacallit here. Oh no, not that. Oh, I guess we can save. Let's save over slot 2. And what I want to see though is I can't check the whatchamacallit. Okay, so his right hand, when he, like, his holster, no, it's his left. Any inconsistency? Okay, so let's look at this for a second here. So there's a palm, okay, so here, let's move our little... Hey, why can't I move my whatchamacallit? Let me move my cursor. What's going on here? Okay, here we go. So we have a palm print here. Nothing special here. Oh, we don't get a penalty for this, do we? The back is covered with blood. Ugh, the back is covered with blood. Say, do you notice anything funny about this blood stain? You're right, it suddenly breaks off unnaturally. Yeah, like, I was thinking that, but I'm not knowledgeable enough on fingerprints to know if, like, that was just me being stupid or not. Supposedly, the lighter is held with the right hand, so that emblem was visible. If so, the print should be around the emblem and on the lid where you open it. You're right, there's definitely something off here. Okay. Let's move. Let's look at the emblem. So this is the Earth emblem Detective Fulbright was talking about. See anything noteworthy? Huh? Hey, look at this! The emblem's actually some kind of button! Wait, what? Whoa! Is this a gun? Oh, this is the 10 caliber gun! Okay! Yo! That's cool! Wow, it transformed! Into something. Into something. A handle. A trigger. Is this what I think it is? There's no question, it seems. What you have there is a gun. I guess that'll be a random Japanese word for the recording session. Hikigane. Hikigane. That means trigger in Japanese. It's written the kanji for, like, to pull, like you're pulling, and then gold for whatever reason. I don't know why hikigane. I don't know what hikigane means, trigger, but it does. Like, why money, whatever. Anyway. A what? A what? A gun. So that's it. Your Honor, please recall this morning's trial when Director Cosmos was on the stand. The bullet that hit the oxygen tank was extremely small, maybe a 10 caliber. This little compact gun probably takes bullets of that caliber. It looks like this is the gun that was fired at the scene. And I'm flabbergasted! The lighter was a gun? So when Detective Fulbright would touch his holster, that's right, whenever he mentioned the Earth emblem, he must have subconsciously thought about the secret behind the lighter. In other words, he knew it was a gun from the very beginning. A lighter that transforms into a gun seems like a spy gadget to me. It's not the kind of thing any ordinary person can get their hands on. In fact, I'd say it's strictly in the domain of elite spies. Detective Fulbright, you will explain yourself. There's nothing for me to explain. I didn't know the lighter could transform. I mean, it was found in the Space Museum and then I brought it straight in. I didn't even have time to check it out. Objection! Whenever you mentioned the Earth emblem, you touched your holster. You subconsciously did that because you knew it was a gun. Accuse me all you want, but where's your proof? You know, he's actually the first person to actually call us out on that, because usually the way that it works is whenever we call somebody out on their tendencies, they just break free. But, you know, he's one tough customer, so. Do you have any evidence that I knew the lighter was a gun? Not exactly. And whose prints are on it? Miss Cykes' prints. It proves that she's the culprit who fired the gun at the scene. Ah. It would appear that the detective is right. Are you guys really trying to prove your client innocent or what? Although it pains me to do this, now that we are where we are, I have to make the following assertions coming from the prosecution side. The person who fired the gun at Director Cosmos in the lounge after the incident, and the person Miss Blackwell saw holding the lighter, and the person who murdered Mr. Terran, and the person who bombed the Space Center, are all the defendant, Athena Cykes. The prints on the lighter are decisive proof. No! Ha ha ha! Now do you see? A man on the side of justice couldn't possibly be the culprit. And I think this about sums up Miss Cykes' part in the whole affair. The evidence certainly does seem to point to the defendant's guilt. Do you have anything to say, Prosecutor Blackwell? Evidence is everything in court. Therefore, Fulbright's claims stand firm. But calm down, Apollo. He's just saying that because he has to as a prosecutor. Mr. Lawyer, our job is to pursue criminals in the name of justice. You shouldn't cast suspicion on people based on something as dubious as a habit. In fact, you have a bad habit of showing up in court with an awful case of bedhead. Objection! Says the man who wears sunglasses at night. If it's proof you want, it's proof you'll get. That's actually one of my pet peeves, people who wear sunglasses indoors or at night. It just makes me mad, I don't know why. I'll prove that this lighter's not Miss Cykes', but yours. Okay, it doesn't really make me mad, but I'm just like, why are you doing it? Sounds like you've hit on something, Apollo. It's just that the prints on the lighter are the basis of accusing Athena. I think we should reconsider the credibility of the evidence itself. You mean, you think this lighter might be forged evidence? That's right. It could all be part of Fulbright's bigger plot. Did he do anything out of the ordinary while I was off on my own? I can definitely think of a few things. It is indeed. Have a look at this. What's this? A lighter. Detective, we'd like to run a comparison on some prints we found in the boarding lounge. Ah, yes, I just happen to have compiled the printout of everyone related to this case. I can always make another copy for myself, so it's all yours. Consider it a gift. If we assume he's been laying a big trap for us all along, there's gotta be something off about this piece of evidence. What's wrong with the lighter as a piece of evidence? How the prints were left on? The owner of the prints? Where the prints are on it? What's wrong with the lighter as a piece of evidence? How the prints were... Okay, so let's look at this. Okay, so... Okay, hold on. That's a lighter? If it isn't, you have a look at this lighter. And he's like, we'd like to run a comparison on some prints we found in the boarding lounge. I just happen to have compiled the print data of everyone related to this case. I can always make another copy for myself, so it's all yours. Considered a gift. So, lighter, fingerprints. Like, I want to say, like, the owner of the prints is the issue. Because logically, that would make the most sense going off of the previous two things and the fact that, you know... Let's just go with the owner of the prints. It doesn't look like we'll get, like, a penalty for this. Are they really Athena's fingerprints? They definitely match the print data. But what about the data itself? Detective Fulbright, you were the one who provided us with the lighter and print data. Isn't that correct? Yes, what about it? You say Miss Sykes' prints match the print data. But I have to wonder, was the data you used official? Mr. Wright, are you suggesting that the evidence might have been fabricated? I guess there's only one way to find out. Let's re-examine the prints. Using the official, sanctioned print data of the people involved in this case. What? You dare insult the epitome of justice and integrity? There's no need for such antics.
Silence.
Your Honor, I lend my voice to the defense's request. You must allow the test to be rerun. Very well then. Bailiff! Ah, it appears that the official data is here. And the results. It's just as the defense claims. This proves that the prints in the lighter do not belong to the defendant. Ah! Yes. The fingerprints actually belong to the victim, Mr. Clay Tarrant. That's interesting. Lighter updated in the court record. A lighter that can transform into a handgun. It has Clay Tarrant's fingerprints and blood on it. Hey, did the lighter update when we discovered that it was a gun? They were Clay's fingerprints in the lighter. Oh, I see. Come to think of it. Was it ye, Fulbright, who collected the victim's prints? I personally removed his glove during the investigation. We had to get his fingerprints to confirm his identity, after all. When you took the deceased's fingerprints, you could have easily planted his prints on the lighter with his blood. After which, you wiped the blood off of his hand. Nah! By your own admission, you were also the one who compiled the phony print data. All to put the blame on Miss Sykes. Nah! This ploy must have been to distract us from the Phantom who was behind everything. You were out to create the impression that the Phantom wasn't the true culprit. So does this mean Detective Fulbright really is the Phantom? Remember the killer's escape route. No ordinary person would have been fearless enough to attempt it. Nobody but the Phantom, the man with no emotions, could have done it. Nah! Detective Fulbright, you were the only one who could have used that escape route. Fulbright, are you really the Phantom? Answer me, or so help me, I'll slash you with tiny slivers where you stand. Ah! Alright, I'll talk. I confess. I'm not the Phantom. Yeah.
Silence.
It's all over. Now be a man and admit it already. But I'm not a spy. I'm an undercover investigator. I've actually been after the Phantom myself. An undercover investigator. Under the cover investigator. That sounds less than wholesome to me. Really? Come on. You went there, game. Under the cover. A person who hides his identity and secretly investigates in order to uncover information. And that's what you really are, Fulbright. I'd like to see the Japanese version of that, and I'll probably post a translation, assuming it's not super freaking hard to translate, like that one interaction with Bobby Fulbright's pun. That's right, I was working to track down the Phantom, but sadly, even though I was supposed to catch the spy ended up catching me. He took my family hostage and forced me to cooperate with him. What?
Objection!
You're telling us this now? But if what you say is true, then who was the mystery person Miss Blackwell and Mr. Starbuck saw? Is he really an undercover agent, though? Like, I have a feeling that there is more to it than him just being the spy, but is he really an undercover agent? Maybe he... I'll hold on to that thought. It was a Phantom, I tell you. All I did was help him by having that emergency ladder lowered for him.
Objection!
I don't believe you. Then how do you explain the fabricated lighter? That was also one of the Phantom's demands. Being the detective in charge of the case, it was easy for me to fabricate evidence. Pinning the crime on Athena Cykes is just another one of the Phantom's orders. And you expect me to buy that? Fulbright. What was the Phantom's ultimate objective? I was told it was to sabotage the rocket launch. Someone who didn't want the launch to happen must have given him the order. Actually, I have to apologize to you too. The Phantom told me to get close to you. He ordered me to get back the psych profile that you gave him, that you have on him. Say, he sent a buzzard of his own to tell me of this past year, did he? I haven't been a champion of justice. I've just been a pawn of evil. A pawn of the Phantom who stole the moon rock and killed Dr. Cykes 7 years ago. Enough, Fulbright. Just tell us the Phantom's true identity. I don't know. He was very careful to hide it. He has top secret information for all kinds of corporations and countries. So there's a number of organizations that want him dead. If people believe I was a Phantom, I could be killed on the spot. Why, I bet even now. There are assassins lurking nearby. This case is about the Phantom after all. Okay, if he gets shot in court right now, I will believe him. If he doesn't, he's full of crap. With the ceiling blown off, I suppose you are vulnerable to a sniper shot in this courtroom. Just 2 seconds ago, Fulbright was treating Athena like a criminal. Does he really think he's going to lie his way out of it now? But on the surface, everything does seem to make sense. This could be bad, Mr. Wright, if he can't find a flaw in his logic. He's right. After we've come all this way, we can't let Fulbright wriggle free now. Awkward pause, see you guys in the next episode.